Hello, welcome to Serling Zone. I'm Alan. Thank you for popping in to watch one of my videos. If you're someone who's popped in before or a subscriber, thanks very much. Or if you're new, maybe I'll see you again in the future. And I'm just an old gamer, show my love of games, fantasy games, space games, and my love of Phantasy Star, which we're all excited at the moment. That's been about a month since we had the announcement of Online 2 coming out next year, spring. Since then I've heard that it should be coming on PS4 as well, even though they haven't announced it. And then slightly bad news, I'm not sure about it. They were saying when they say West, they just mean it's going to come in North America and not Europe, and then they see how it's doing. But I can't believe that. It might get delayed a little bit for Europe because they normally got rather than one language, you've got to do about 5 or 6 different languages. I could understand it being delayed a little bit, but I can't think Sony or Microsoft would just do that. I mean, Sega maybe has in the past. I remember on the Dreamcast when they did version 2, which gave you the ultimate levels. I mean, that took quite a while to come out in Europe. I even got it on import, on the American version on import on the Dreamcast, and played it quite a bit before it did finally come out in Europe. So no, I'm still optimistic it'll come out and we'll have fun playing that in the new year. Obviously we're here now in No Man's Sky with Zero, our adventurer, back at the Phantasy Star Creature Park, where our adventurers at the ruins base have found some more data. And we've got a new statue, the Sinow Beat, which is a robot from the mines levels. Pretty tough when you first find it. Yeah, Sinow Beat found in the mine levels. He will come. It's probably about the fastest enemy in the game, I think, because as you know, it drop down from the ceiling and it'll see you for a while, then just zoom right across at you and slash you with its blades. Sometimes causes confusion, so when you're low level, you're better off staying in the corridor, just poking through, having a few shots, then going out again. The old tactic that most of us Phantasy Star players know. You've got the other. It's not attack, I suppose. He's got the ability where he produces some clones of himself, so boost another 4 or 5 of them round there, so you're not sure which is the one to attack. There is another thing that he does, which I'll leave as at the end, I'll say at the end, which I only realised when I was reading through my book, and it said it's quite a fact that, you know, quite an unknown fact really. And you sort of when you hear it, you think, oh yeah, I remember that. But so it'd be interesting if anyone can think what that is, and I'll say at the end. But let's go into photo mode. Have a look at our Sinow Beat. Taken a while doing this one. I've tried it in different poses, and in the end I got this pose. I've got some movement in him with his legs slightly different and his arms coming at different angles. But yeah, again, like I've said before, I like to get as many of the features as I can with what the game allows you, and I think he's a good representation of the Sinow Beats. If you see one in the game, or if you're new to Phantasy Star and you play the new one, I mean, there's going to be loads of fans. It's been so exciting on YouTube watching all videos of the people and their reactions. And it's really good. So there's thousands of people, as we know, Phantasy Star fans who'll be getting it. And there's a new generation, I suppose, of people who will get to it. So I'm sure it's going to do well. I mean, even my video, I think it was about 50 views or something, which I couldn't believe. So I don't know what some of the people thought when they watched it, because I was a bit tired at the end of the day. I'm a bit still shocked when I did it, and I was sort of even stumbling over what day it was, but I left it up. That tends to be me. They just sort of genuine videos. And yeah, he's come out well. The Sinow Beats. Oh, I've left a little bit down there. I was trying different sizes of the heads, because the head was a thing I wanted to get right, and in the end I went with this one, which is a little bit smaller than his head, but it looks better within the frame of it. But as for the features, yes, we've got the shoulders with all the white spikes on there. Got the head, which has got like a red stripe, white and red stripe on it, which is good. Did a different way of doing the hands to give like its hands, which I think that was pretty good. And I just did the blades as well, which they appear as it attacks you. And that was one of the few times I managed to do a bit of glitch building. So I don't normally do glitch building. For what I do, the statues, you don't really need it. I do a few techniques to help get blocks where they maybe wouldn't go, but this one I used a bit of glitch building so I could get it really tight to the blocks. As you can see there, like, it actually passes through that block there, and that was a case of putting the round one and then doing a little technique with the pad and the R2 and the X, and getting it would build the globe, but you'd press and then it would build the square because it thought it was building the globe. So I was pleased with that I got the blades on his arms. Oh, that was really good. So have a zoom around him. And of course he's one of the enemies you can get the S blades. I'm pretty sure it's one of the enemies where it will drop its hand. I can't really remember if I've ever had him drop his hands to be able to make the S blades. I know I've had them. I'm not sure whether I made them on the Dreamcast or whether I traded for them. But I think it's quite a rare drop if he drops them, so it's a good weapon for the hunter. But that was fun trying to play it with a couple of my characters. I've just got onto the mines level on hard, so I was going around drawing him and using the technique at the corridor, just poking through, letting him come down, then backing away, and I could draw him quite well from the front. But to try and get him from the back and the sides, I just had to get in there and let him chase me and draw him. So it was I tried with my ranger with the weapon I've got that paralyses well, but it just wouldn't paralyse him. I think he must be well immune to the paralysis, so that was fun. I got killed a couple of times trying to realise that he was hurting me too much. But he fits in well in there. I think both the robots, they fit well in the No Man's Sky world, because they look like they could be like a sentinel boss. If you really had a high wanted level, they would come after you, and they would be virtually, it'd be like a Dark Souls fight. You wouldn't easily beat it on your own. You'd have virtually no chance, and even with a few of you, I think it'd be one of those ones, if you did beat it, it'd be like Dark Souls where you punch the air. Yes, done it. And the ability, which I did say, oh, would you maybe think what it was? And I say I didn't know until I read it in the book I've got. Sometimes he will follow you into the corridor, so the tactic of staying in the corridor and shooting from there doesn't work sometimes. I mean, I haven't had it done that to me for a while, but once I read that, I thought, yeah, I can remember that now happening, and thinking, what's going on? You know, flipping Sinow Beat's got in the corridor chasing you, because they don't normally go in there. I'm not sure if it was online thing only or not, but yeah, so that's the fair play to you, or top marks if you remembered that they do sometimes go in the corridor. But again, another well-designed enemy from Sega. So let's get a nice picture for the. Yeah, let's take that. Oh, that one's not too bad. Got them there, and that'll be the opening screenshot of the video. So if you enjoyed that one, I say it's another month down, and we're on, hopefully, you know, it won't be long. We'll be there playing Phantasy Star Online, episode 2, online too, yeah, MMO. Yeah, that's a good picture there. I'll end there, and that'll be the screenshot on the video. But hope to see you again. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.